Hello and thank you for joining us. In this presentation, we are going to be talking about Infortrend's Scale-Out and Scale-Up NAS EonStor CS. In this presentation, we are going to briefly talk about storage industry trends, highlight our EonStor CS key features and reasons why we recommend using the EonStor CS as a solution for certain industries. Data Age 2025 predicts an estimated global datasphere growth to be 4.5 times in the next 6 years. The reason for this is because there are multiple new innovations for each industry, such as 4K, 8K video, IoT, and big data, which will drive global data volume growth. To address this rapid increase in data, the industry needs a storage system which can achieve high performance and scalability, such as Scale-Out NAS. So let's take a look at the Infortrend solution, which we believe will accommodate the global industry trend, the EonStor CS. Our EonStor CS is a Scale-Out NAS system which supports horizontal scalability by adding more devices, allowing both the capacity and performance to linearly expand as the system grows. Here is a list of highlights of the EonStor CS. The first is the high performance and capacity, which is able to handle today's applications. The second is its high scalability to address the rapid surge of growing data, which, as mentioned previously, is predicted to grow rapidly in the next 6 years. Besides fulfilling the performance, capacity and scalability, there are other factors which need to be considered as well, such as data availability, protection and security concerns. EonStor CS addresses these concerns by having a complete data protection feature to prevent critical loss and protect data from malicious attacks or human error. Last but not least, the EonStor CS is easy to deploy and manage. In the next page, we will explain how the EonStor CS achieves these highlights. As we have mentioned, EonStor CS is a scale-out NAS solution. It can reach up to more than 100 gigabytes per second read-write speed and 100 petabytes capacity, and you can have a total of 144 units, or nodes as we call them, into a single scale-out cluster. Let's stop a moment and think about the value and why you should consider the use of a scale-out storage system. Imagine you need to find a solution which boosts 100 times the performance of your company. What are the options for you? The first is to buy a single supercomputer to reach 100 times performance. However, the cost for this single super unit will crush your budget. The other option is to combine 100 normal computers together to reach the 100 times performance you need, which will cost considerably less, up to 50%, than the first solution mentioned. Using the same concept from the previous scenario, if you need 10 times more capacity, you can buy a single super large capacity disk, or you can combine multiple disks together at a much lower cost and with more reliability. For these two scenarios, the major advantage of the scale-out system is that you can combine multiple units together to reach the massive performance and capacity required, but a very competitive price. EonStor CS supports both scale-out and scale-up. For scale-out, users can add a maximum of 144 nodes into a single cluster to expand both system performance and capacity. For scale-up, you can attach additional expansion enclosures such as a JBOD to expand the capacity. EonStor CS has also been designed with complete data protection to provide critical data and ensure continuous storage services. the protection has 3 layers. For disk protection, EonStor CS provides RAID protection to prevent data loss from a disk failure. Then comes the node protection. EonStor CS supports data redundancy across multiple nodes to prevent data loss from a node failure. And finally, the cluster protection. EonStor CS supports data remote replication to back up data in another site. So you have 3 layers of data protection, so if any element should fail, your data will be safe and not lost. When it comes to data security concerns, EonStor CS has a data protection mechanism to prevent critical data from being hacked, deleted, or overwritten. This includes supporting self-encrypted drives to keep confidential files, for example, in government institutions, and the write one, read many is also supported to protect transactional records and confidential files to be deleted, modified by accident for several years. The EonStor CS management software, known as EON1, is a web-based graphical interface which allows simple installation and allows users to easily manage the maintenance of the entire cluster. For hardware maintenance, the CS unit has a flexible modular design for easy component maintenance and replacement purposes. We have now taken you through the CS highlights, so let's now demonstrate how its features compare to other scale-out storage systems in the marketplace. First is the easy deployment using the setup wizard. It only takes 5 minutes to set up the entire scale-out cluster for your system deployment and 30 minutes to complete the initialization. Unlike other scale-out systems where the minimum required nodes are 3, CS allows the customer to build the scale-out cluster starting with just 1 node, which is ideal for those who have a limited budget with the ability to expand the node or expansion enclosure in the future as the data grows. Also, with our unique distributed mode, it doubles the performance compared to the general scale-out mode. Finally is the RAID protection. If a disk fails, the performance of the entire cluster will not be impacted when rebuilding. It also prevents data loss when drives on multiple nodes fail as well. Now we know what EonStor CS is capable of, let's see its target application. The first target application is media and entertainment, the M&E industry. For those specialising in 3D model animation or high-resolution 4K, 8K movie editing, they require a file-sharing environment for simultaneous access and editing of multimedia files across multiple workstations. High performance is required for multiple users for streaming and editing. High capacity is also required for storing or archiving large amounts of media files. Based on what you already know, our EonStor CS scale-out solution becomes the most cost-effective and best option for them. Another application is high-performance computing, HPC. HPC is a wide range of application sets with parallel computing behavior which requires high performance and capacity. For example, applications such as image-intensive analysis, astronomical survey, national land survey, real-time stock tracking, automate trading in financial sector, and even AI algorithm. For both surveillance and backup applications which need a large amount of capacity, EonStor CS's high capacity and scalable solution is suitable as well. In this case study, a film production company required a solution which offered high performance to support simultaneous editing from multiple workstations. They also require a solution which offered the ability to increase capacity and scalability for their ever-increasing capacity demands. After looking at other options and vendors, they chose the EonStor CS as their final solution. The next case comes from China, the National Offshore Oil Corporation. First, they have sensors that collect large amounts of oil drilling data. They then needed to transfer that data back to the data center for parallel analyzing. The topology and architecture is the standard HPC application. The requirement was that the solution must offer high performance, capacity, and a scalable solution. Again, they looked at other vendors, and we are pleased to say they chose the EonStor CS for their final solution. This concludes our talk. Thank you for taking the time to know and learn about our EonStor CS. Until next time, we hope to see you soon.